Is it easy being green yet? It's wicked for good. Confession time. I wasn't too crazy about the first Wicked. While it had a lot of fun, bouncy, and pop moments, it suffered from a lot of the problems with modern blockbusters. It was too bloated, it was too CGI heavy, it looked just too fake and too inauthentic for us to really get immersed in this world. Save for Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande's performances, though. They kept the first movie afloat not just with their terrific vocals, but with their friendship dynamic. Well, I'm not too happy to say that Wicked for Good, the second part, doubles down on all the things that I didn't enjoy about the first. What should be an emotional culmination of this story and reaffirm our love for the Wizard of Oz actually does the total opposite. Part 2 picks up sometime after the first. Elphaba is now an enemy of the state. She's the Wicked Witch of the West. Through propaganda, she has been painted as the villain to Oz. But Glinda, played by Ariana Grande, has been elevated to the Good Witch. She is like a state spokesman, but she knows the truth. Elphaba isn't the actual villain. It's the Wizard of Oz, who is manipulating the entire land. Naturally, she's caught between loving her friend and being a symbol of good for everyone in the land of Oz, even down to an arranged marriage with Fiero. All Elphaba wants is to expose Oz for its fascism, to save the cute woodland animals that have been exiled, and to reunite with her best friend Glinda. Should Elphaba keep the truth hidden and just make up to get her friend back? Or should Glinda expose the truth and bring it all down in order to honor her friendship? Now, I'm not familiar with the Broadway show, so seeing how this story unfolds was all new to me, and that includes incorporating elements of the original Wizard of Oz film into it. On its face, I don't have a problem with retconning certain things about a movie classic in order to expand on the lore and expand on the mythology. Look no further than Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead and how that enhances Hamlet while only changing a few key details. Whether it's the source material or this adaptation, Wicked for Good seems pretty liberal with how it changes Wizard of Oz to fit this narrative. That's right, Dorothy, Toto, the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, the Cowardly Lion, they're all technically characters in this, but we don't actually follow them. They're in the background, they're silhouetted, they're the backs of their heads. That is, except two of those characters are actually two prominent Wicked characters, which changes the whole dynamic of The Wizard of Oz if you accept Wicked as a true prequel to that classic film. It's a little like the Doctor Sleep and The Shining situation. Doctor Sleep had to be both a sequel to The Shining, but also a sequel to The Shining book, wherein The Shining film was way different than that book, so it had to serve two masters. Likewise, Wicked for Good has to be its own thing, but it also has to ultimately bridge us into the Judy Garland Wizard of Oz, which is kind of disastrous for this movie's own identity. Because now you're not only inviting comparisons to a legendary film, but you have to fit square pegs and round holes if you want to accomplish the Wicked story, but also accomplish the setup for Wizard of Oz. And these two things just ultimately do not mix, especially because Wicked on its face is supposed to be the more complex and layered version, and Wizard of Oz is a very simple tale. And that way, this kind of feels like the Star Wars prequels, where they're mixing and matching some things and retrofitting others. And if you think too hard and long about canon, your head's gonna explode. And funny enough, another thing this has in common with those Star Wars prequels is garish CGI and visuals, because director John M. Chu and his visual effects supervisors and his DP continue and even worsen the look from the first film. It didn't make this world pop and come alive, whether it was the color correction or the lighting or just the overall tonality of the visual palette. And in this one, it's kind of even worse, especially since there's more production design, there are more sets, there's more beautiful things to capture on camera. But this is lit so dimly, like a Netflix TV show, where every shot, wide and close up, the aperture is wide open, so the background is always a blur. So we never really luxuriate in what this world looks like because it's always kind of hidden from us. It's ultimately just a bizarre way to tell the story. And let's not even get into the songs, because even though I heard poor things about the second half of the show, the songs really do let the audience down. And that includes two new ones. And of course, Arrivo and Grande sing the hell out of them, but I have to give a shout out especially to Grande, who over these two movies has shown such range from the bubbly naif to now a wizened and more, I don't know how to describe it, battle hardened witch. Grande has so many moments of silliness and vulnerability and pathos that I really am curious what she does after these. We know Arrivo has a ton of range, but Grande is the real discovery here, and she kind of carries this thing on her back for the funny parts and the dramatic parts, and ultimately brings this to something a tiny bit more enjoyable than the bad visuals and story and technical aspects. I know these Wicked movies are something that people love so, so dearly, but unfortunately, both of them, and especially this one, can't hold a candle to the majesty and legacy of The Wizard of Oz. Wicked for Good doubles down on all the things that were wrong with the first Wicked. It has fuzzy cinematography, chintzy CGI, and forgettable songs. It just can't hang with the original Wizard of Oz, and I doubt it can even hang with the original Broadway show. I give Wicked for Good a regrettable 2 out of 5 stars. If you like this review, please like and subscribe, or follow me on Letterboxd at RamirezS316. Y'all are so lucky I don't know how to sing, because I totally would have tried in that intro.